Hello students, in the last session we have studied about the chemical part in physiology of excretion. Okay, so we have ended up with the ornithine cycle. Ornithine cycle कहाँ पे होता था? Liver cells. Okay, in the liver cells ornithine cycle occurs and there is formation of urea. Okay, now we'll start with the mechanical part in which we'll be learning how exactly urine formation occurs. Okay, so mechanical part में there are three actually techniques by which urine formation occurs. Okay, so in the different parts of the nephron these all processes will occur. Okay, so mechanical part will include three processes, that is ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. Okay, very important topic from exam point of view as far as theory is concerned as well as MCQs are concerned. So please pay attention. Okay, so how many parts are there here for urine formation in mechanical method? Ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. Three parts are there. Now we'll start with the very first part, that is ultrafiltration. Okay, name itself suggests here ultrafiltration. अल्ट्राफिल्ट्रेशन का मतलब ये है फिल्ट्रेशन ऐसे तरीके से होता है जो जिसकी वजह से minute filtration is there. Okay, so such a pressure is developed because of which there is much more filtration of the blood which is present in the glomerular blood capillaries. Okay, got it? So now you all know very well the parts of nephron. Nephron के कौन-कौन से parts थे? Just recollect that Malpighian body and renal tubules. Okay, nephron is also known as uriniferous tubules. Please remember this. Nephron को दूसरा नाम क्या है? Uriniferous tubule. Nephron has two major parts, Malpighian body and renal tubule. Malpighian body is made up of glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Okay, we have studied in detail structure of Malpighian body. Okay, so Bowman's capsule is double-walled cup-shaped structure in which there is a network of blood capillaries. Okay, so in the cup-shaped cavity of the Bowman's capsule there is tuft of glomerular capillaries. Almost 50 glomerular capillaries are formed here in this region. Okay, and how these capillaries are formed? These capillaries are formed due to division and redivision of the afferent arteriole. Okay, got it? And this afferent arteriole, once it divides and redivides into glomerular capillaries, these glomerular blood capillaries will rejoin to form efferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole diameter is big as compared to efferent arteriole, because of which pressure will be created. Okay, so in this particular session we will be learning how exactly ultrafiltrate, nephric filtrate or glomerular filtrate is formed. Okay, so ultrafiltration में फिल्टर होके जो आता है बाहर उसको क्या बोलते हैं? अल्ट्राफिल्ट्रेट, नेफ्रिक फिल्ट्रेट, glomerular filtrate or tubular filtrate also. Okay, because all whatever filtered material which is there, it is entering in the tubular part of the nephron. Nephric filtrate क्यों? Because nephron में filtrate ये form हो रहा है, that's why nephric filtrate. Glomerular filtrate because glomerulus, that is network of blood capillaries, are forming ultrafiltrate. That's why it is known as glomerular filtrate. Got it? So now we'll study how exactly this filtrate is formed. Okay, as I told you, in each and every nephron there is entry of the afferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole का diameter ज़्यादा है, efferent का कम है. So amount of blood which is entering in the afferent arteriole is more, volume of blood is more, and volume of blood coming out from the efferent arteriole is less. So definitely this diameter difference will create much more hydrostatic pressure in the glomerular blood capillaries. Okay, so we'll see how much is this glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so look here, this is the afferent arteriole which is entering here, dividing into many glomerular blood capillaries. Okay, and when it divides into many thin blood capillaries, thin रहते हैं capillaries, तो amount of blood which will be entering in each capillary will be less. So यहाँ पे जो pressure है, blood volume है वो ज़्यादा है, but blood volume which is present in the blood capillaries is less. Okay, so the pressure which will be generated here because of the overlapping of the blood capillaries over one another as well as the diameter difference, this pressure which is generated is known as glomerular hydrostatic pressure. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, which is denoted as PB. PB से denote किया जाता है वो. Okay, so this pressure will be responsible for formation of ultrafiltrate. Many network of blood capillaries है, tough of blood capillaries. These will overlap with one another and pressure will be exerted over one another as well as diameter difference. ओके उसकी वजह से ये ग्लोमेरुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर डेवलप होता है एंड दिस ग्लोमेरुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर इज पीबी कितना है 60 mmHg. ओके सो 60 mmHg का ग्लोमेरुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर डेवलप होता है बिकॉज ऑफ डायमीटर डिफरेंस एज वेल एज द प्रेशर विच इज exerted by the glomerular blood capillaries over one another in this cup-shaped cavity of the Bowman's capsule. Okay, now this pressure which is there, it is responsible for ultrafiltration, but there are other pressures also which are acting over this blood capillaries and these will not allow the blood capillaries to filter out the ultrafiltrate. Okay, so ये pressure को oppose कौन करता है? Which pressure will be opposing the glomerular hydrostatic pressure? एक तो ब्लड कोलाइडल प्रेशर रहेगा, मीन्स ब्लड में जो प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स रहते हैं दैट इज सीरम एल्ब्यूमिन, सीरम ग्लोब्यूलिन, फाइब्रिनोजिन. ओके, देर आर मेनी सच ब्लड प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स, स्पेशली सीरम एल्ब्यूमिन इज मेजरली रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर. ब्लड कोलाइडल प्रेशर जनरेट होता है ज़्यादा एंड दैट ब्लड कोलाइडल ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर will be against the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so ये proteins जो blood में रहते हैं, these proteins will not allow the glomerular blood capillaries to filter out the blood. Okay, so it is resisting the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, and that is denoted as blood colloidal pressure which is there, it is denoted as PO. So I have written here also. So whatever blood which is flowing in the glomerular blood capillaries, that is denoted as PO. Okay, उसका pressure जो है वो denote कैसे किया है? PO से. What is PO? Blood colloidal osmotic pressure. Okay, which is resisting glomerular hydrostatic pressure and it is denoted as PO. Okay, so PO is how much? It is 30 mmHg. Okay, so blood colloidal osmotic pressure is how much? 30 mmHg, which is opposing 60 mmHg, that is glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, then there are other resisting pressures which are also opposing glomerular hydrostatic pressure. So look at this diagram. Here I have drawn the Bowman's capsule which is a double walled structure. So you can very well see here, because of the pressure exerted by the blood capillaries as well as diameter difference, there is entry of the ultrafiltrate in the cavity of the Bowman's capsule. So ये प्रेशर के कारण क्या हो गया? ब्लड फिल्टर हो रहा है और ब्लड फिल्टर होके कहाँ पे एक्यूमुलेट हो रहा है? इन द कैविटी ऑफ द बोमन्स कैप्सूल. ओके, ब्लड फिल्टर होके जो कैविटी में आता है कैप्सूल के, वो क्या फिल्टर होके जो बाहर आ रहा है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? अल्ट्रा फिल्ट्रेट और नेफ्रिक फिल्ट्रेट glomerular filtrate or tubular filtrate. Okay, so whatever filtrate which is coming here and getting accumulated in this capsular cavity, this filtrate is also exerting pressure over the glomerular capillaries. So इसके अगेंस्ट जाएगा, ये रेजिस्ट करेगा, इसको फिल्टर होने से रोकेगा. ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द रेजिस्टिंग प्रेशर, जस्ट लाइक blood colloidal osmotic pressure. Okay, so what is the pressure which is exerted over the glomerular capillaries by the nephric filtrate? It is 10 mmHg. 10 mmHg. Okay, so ये जो nephric filtrate है, this is denoted by PC here means renal intratubular pressure. So this is the tubular part of the nephron. nephron का ये part है, ट्यूब जैसा cavity, ट्यूब में जैसे cavity रहता है वैसे cavity है यहाँ पे. Okay, got it. So definitely it is exerting pressure over the network of capillaries. So this will be denoted as PC here. So what is PC? It is renal interstitial pressure. Okay, intratubular pressure, I'm sorry, renal intratubular pressure, because ट्यूब के अंदर जो फिल्ट्रेट है वो एक्सर्ट कर रहा है प्रेशर against glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, then you can see this part also. What is this part? This is the fluid which I have shown, interstitial fluid. Okay, see here nephrons which are there. There are millions of nephrons in the kidney. Okay, so between the nephrons there is one fluid which is present, and that fluid is known as interstitial fluid. ओके, सो किडनी के नेफ्रॉन्स के बीच में जो फ्लूइड है उसको क्या बोलेंगे? किडनी को दूसरा नाम क्या है? साइंटिफिक नेम रीनल. सो रीनल इंटरस्टिशियल फ्लूइड. सो दिस इज द रीनल इंटरस्टिशियल फ्लूइड which is exerting pressure over the glomerular filtrate. Okay, it is exerting pressure over the glomerular filtrate, and glomerular filtrate in turn is exerting pressure over the glomerular blood capillaries. So definitely this renal interstitial fluid is also responsible for creating pressure against glomerular hydrostatic pressure. So can I say this is also one of the resisting pressure? So resisting pressure कौन कौन से है? Renal intratubular pressure, renal interstitial pressure, as well as blood colloidal osmotic pressure. So ये तीन जो प्रेशर है वो ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन को अपोज करते हैं, मीन्स दे आर अगेंस्ट ग्लोमेरुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर. सो ग्लोमेरुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर कम करेंगे वो. ओके, गॉट इट, एज दे आर अपोजिंग दैट. समझ में आया? सो दिस रीनल इंट्राटिब्युलर प्रेशर and renal interstitial pressure together will be called as capsular hydrostatic pressure. Capsular hydrostatic pressure ऐसे क्यों बोला है ये दोनों को? Because this is the region of the nephron which is known as Bowman's capsule. So capsule के ऊपर ये pressure generate कर रहा है, renal interstitial pressure. Okay, so renal interstitial fluid is exerting pressure over the nephric filtrate which is present in the capsular space. Okay, and capsular space में nephric filtrate है वो भी pressure exert कर रहा है किसके ऊपर? glomerular capillaries के ऊपर. So overall I can say these two are capsular hydrostatic pressure, बिकॉज कैप्सूल के आजू बाजू में जो इंटरस्टिशियल फ्लूइड है एज वेल एज नेफ्रिक फिल्ट्रेट जो है कैप्सुलर स्पेस में, बोथ आर अपोजिंग ग्लोमेरुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर. ओके, बोथ आर अपोजिंग अल्ट्राफिल्ट्रेशन. सो दैट्स व्हाई दीज टू विल बी कॉल्ड एज कैप्सुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर. गॉट इट? फाइन. सो ग्लोमेरुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर कितना बोला मैंने? PB is 60 mmHg, and osmotic pressure, which is opposing glomerular hydrostatic pressure, it is denoted as PO, it is 30 mmHg. Then renal intratubular pressure, which is denoted as PC, it is 10 mmHg, 10 mmHg, okay. And renal interstitial pressure, which is denoted as PI, it is also 10 mmHg. So can I say capsular hydrostatic pressure क्या रहेगा? Addition of renal intratubular pressure and renal interstitial pressure, ये दोनों का ऐड होने के बाद क्या बनेगा? कैप्सुलर हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर. सो व्हाट इज पीसी? 10 mmHg. And what is PI? It is also 10 mmHg. So can I say capsular hydrostatic pressure will be 20 mmHg. Okay, capsular hydrostatic pressure कितना है? 20 mmHg. Why these two will be called as capsular hydrostatic pressure? Because interstitial fluid surrounding the capsule is exerting pressure over the glomerular blood capillaries, okay, as well as renal intratubular pressure is also exerting pressure over the glomerular capillaries. So overall capsule is responsible for generating pressure over the glomerular blood capillaries. That's why it is known as capsular hydrostatic pressure. All of you understood? So how much is capsular hydrostatic pressure? It is 20 mmHg. Okay, so now we'll see what is the exact nephric filtrate ka speed for formation of ultrafiltrate. Okay, so ultrafiltrate का formation के लिए we'll have to calculate exactly what is the actual pressure which is needed for formation of ultrafiltrate, because glomerular hydrostatic pressure को oppose करने वाले कितने pressures है? 3 है, 3 pressures है. So definitely net filtration pressure will get by deducting this resisting pressures from total glomerular hydrostatic pressure. So total glomerular hydrostatic pressure से अगर ये डिडक्ट किया अपोजिंग प्रेशर्स और रेजिस्टिंग प्रेशर्स, तब जाके हम लोग को नेट फिल्ट्रेशन प्रेशर मिलेगा. गॉट इट? एंड दैट इज द एक्चुअल प्रेशर बाय विच अल्ट्राफिल्ट्रेट विल बी फॉर्म्ड. ओके, गॉट इट? सो लेट्स सी हाउ टू कैलकुलेट नेट फिल्ट्रेशन प्रेशर. Net filtration pressure is also known as effective filtration pressure. Effective filtration pressure, because this is the actual final pressure because of which there will be formation of ultrafiltrate. Okay, so क्या रहेगा net filtration pressure? Total glomerular hydrostatic pressure कितना है? 60 mmHg. ओके, और इसको अपोज करने वाले कितने रेजिस्टिंग प्रेशर है? 3 है. कौन कौन से है? पीसी. पीसी मीन्स व्हाट हियर? पीसी आई हैव रिटन हियर रीनल इंट्राटिब्युलर प्रेशर, दैट इज 10 mmHg, मीन्स दिस वन. ओके, पीसी प्लस पीआई. पीआई इज व्हाट? रीनल इंटरस्टिशियल प्रेशर विच इज 10 mmHg, means this one. Okay, as well as whatever proteins which are present in the blood of the glomerular blood capillaries, this will be also resisting pressure over the glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so blood osmotic pressure, it is denoted as PO, that is 30 mmHg. So will deduct the resisting pressure from the total glomerular hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so total glomerular hydrostatic pressure 60 है. capsular hydrostatic pressure मैंने क्या बोला था? It is addition of PC and PI, that is 20 and PO is 30. So definitely it will come to 50. So total 50 is what? capsular hydrostatic pressure plus blood colloidal osmotic pressure. Okay, so it will be 50. So 60 minus 50, it will be 10 mmHg. So net filtration pressure is the pressure because of which the ultrafilter will be formed. Ultrafiltrate or glomerular filtrate will be formed. Okay, got it? So this ultrafiltrate which is formed because of this pressure will have large amount of all the nutrients as well as salts, everything will be present. Okay, so the composition of blood and composition of ultrafiltrate will be almost same, except it will not have blood cells. Ultrafiltrate will not have blood cells and large size plasma proteins. Okay, so इसके अलावा बाकी जो जितना भी सब्सटेंसेस रहता है ब्लड में वो सब रहेगा. सो अल्ट्राफिल्ट्रेट विल हैव वाटर, nutrients such as glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, then it will also have urea, uric acid. Okay, then salts such as sodium chloride, then sodium ions, chloride ions, calcium ions, magnesium ions, manganese ions. Okay, got it? So all the important material will also enter in the nephric filtrate, because it is just the pressure. It's not that the body is trying to conserve the important material. Okay, so जो important है वो भी जा रहा है यहाँ पे. तो definitely next step should be there in mechanical part to form urine, that is tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion to form urine. Okay, so तो यूरिन बनने के लिए जो इम्पॉर्टेंट गया है उसको फिर से ब्लड में डालना चाहिए, और जो ब्लड में अनवांटेड सब्सटेंसेस है वो फिर से एक्सक्रीट होना चाहिए, ट्यूब्यूल में जाना चाहिए, एंड दस यूरिन विल एक्सक्रीट यूरिया एज वेल एज मेनी अनवांटेड सब्सटेंसेस. ओके, गॉट इट? So net ultrafiltration pressure is the pressure which is needed for formation of ultrafiltrate, and our body tries to keep this net filtration pressure, that is 10 mmHg constant. Okay, even if the BP becomes high or low. So जब भी BP सिस्टमिक सर्कुलेशन का BP हाई होता है नहीं तो लो होता है, तभी अपनी बॉडी कुछ हॉर्मोन्स प्रोड्यूस करती है, नहीं तो देर आर सर्टेन डिफरेंट वेज बाय विच दिस नेट फिल्ट्रेशन प्रेशर इज केप्ट कांस्टेंट. ओके, गॉट इट? सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट ultrafiltration. In the next lecture we'll be learning about tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. Thank you.